And we're back with another video. How's everyone doing this evening? It's your boy Avery Wright, and I'm here with the Carolina Panthers post-game report all the way from over the pond in London, England. And it was a great day to be a Panthers fan, and it looked like a lot of people in London had fun. I mean, who wouldn't, with Carolina getting another win, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, splitting the season series with them 1-1 with the win 37-26 in England. And everyone had a big day. Kyle Allen went 20 for 32, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. McCaffrey had 22 carries, 31 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. DJ Moore led the way with 7 receptions and 73 yards. And on defense, James Bradberry led the way with 2 interceptions, 2 big interceptions, one at the beginning of the game and one at the end of the game. James Bradberry also led the way in tackles with 10. And that Carolina defense, man, it was crazy to see. 7 turnovers that they forced. 7 turnovers, 7 sacks, and 20 points off of turnovers. Crazy. And I was loving it. The defense played lights out. Now on the other side of the ball, for the Buccaneers, Jameis Winston went 30 for 54, 400 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 5 interceptions. Sheesh. 5. Yep, I said it. 5 interceptions. Peyton Barber led the way for the running backs, had 8 carries for 28 yards. And again, Chris Godwin led the way for the wide receivers with 10 receptions to 151 yards and no touchdowns. On their defensive side, Devin White led the way with 9 tackles total, and Carl Nassib, Vea, and Ndamukong Suh all had sacks. Well, Carl Nassib had 1 sack, Suh and Vea had a half a sack, so they sacked Kyle Allen twice. Now, for Carolina, with that sack party that they had, man, I tell you, everyone was having fun. Gerald McCoy had 2.5 sacks. Vernon Butler, yes, I said it, Vernon Butler, who I always thought was just a big waste of space, but he had 2 sacks as well. Dontari Poe had 1. Spider Burns had another sack, and Bruce Irvin had a half a sack. And for interceptions, like I said, James Bradberry had 2 big interceptions. Javian Elliott had an interception. Ross Cockrell had another interception. And Luke Kuechly. And it's been a while since we've seen Luke get an interception, but man, I'm just so happy with the way how this Panthers team played. We're going to start on the offense. Kyle Allen, that was by far Kyle Allen's best game as a pro. Before that, I said the best game he's played since he started was against the Cardinals. And like I said, again, it's the Cardinals, and they're a newer team, but he played lights out. But this right here was Kyle Allen's best game. He started off a little shaky, but once he got everything under control, and when Norv started calling a better offensive game plan, because, like I said, the Buccaneers are the 29th ranked defense in the NFL against the pass. So just throw it against them. They can't stop it, and they couldn't stop it. Christian McCaffrey, they had C-Mac bottled up pretty good again today. They have the number 1 rush defense. He only had 31 yards on 22 carries. Still got a touchdown, though. But his other touchdown, oh, man. Christian McCaffrey, you cannot leave him alone in space. Christian McCaffrey broke 4 pairs of ankles on his passing touchdown drive. Kyle Allen couldn't find anyone open. Just swung it out to McCaffrey, and he just ran it in for a touchdown. And on the way, put 2 people on skates, breaking ankles, and the last person stiff-armed him in the face, getting his way into the end zone. I'm telling you, man, the way how McCaffrey is playing, he is in peak MVP form. Curtis Samuel also had 2 big touchdowns on the fake reverse, and he also had a great leaping end zone touchdown. I still don't know how he caught that, but hats off to Kyle Allen for throwing it off up there to Curtis Samuel, giving him that 50-50 ball, saying, all right, let's see if you can get it. Kirko said, who do you think I am? Caught it, came down the end zone, and even Curtis was like, oh my gosh, his little touchdown celebration was hilarious. And the Panthers could do no wrong in this game. Really, the only con I would have to say about this game would probably have to be the Ray McCloud fumble. Ray, I've been trying to, I don't know how I feel about him yet. I mean, he's a decent punt and kick returner, but this is like the second game where he's fumbled and we like lost the ball. I think the last time he did that was against the Rams. Actually, I think he almost did it against Tampa Bay week 2 as well. But a lot of fans were coming for Ray McCloud's head. But again, I really don't know how I feel about Ray McCloud. But I don't know. Like, the Panthers really haven't had a solid, kick returner or punt returner since who? Steve Smith. It's rare to see them have a good kick or punt returner. But I don't know who else we could change it to. But Ray just needs to work on ball security, and we will be fine. Like I said, speaking of ball security, Kyle Allen did not have a fumble today. Hats off to Kyle Allen. I know I'm always talking about him and his fumbles, but he really did come up huge for this team today. He had an excellent game. Now, on the defensive side, those guys were a bunch of animals. Man, Jameis Winston, like most of the wounds were self-inflicted. Jameis Winston, that was probably his worst game this year. I think the only game I can think of where he played really like this bad was against the 49ers in week 1. Other than that, Jameis Winston has been sharp as a knife, especially against the blitz. They say he was ranked number 1 against the blitz. But Carolina got to this man a lot, man. Like I said, 7 sacks, and he had 5 interceptions. It's tough to win like that. And this Panthers defense, this is the Panthers defense that we've all been waiting to see, that they've been raving about in the Charlotte media all through the offseason, saying, oh, they switched to this now 3-4 defense and how it's supposed to be so great. And now we're seeing the fruits of its labor coming into action now. And this Panthers team, especially this defense, just looks hungry all the time. And that's one thing I can say about this whole Panthers team. They just keep pounding, bro. Like, this team fits the mantra of keep pounding. We've had so many key injuries so far this year, like the injury to Kawan Short being put on IR, Cam Newton and his foot injury, Dante Jackson and his groin injury, our offensive line with Trey Turner getting injured, and then you had to move Darrell Williams over to right tackle, where he is flourishing, by the way. They need to keep him over there at right tackle. The next man up mentality, everyone just keeps pounding, and everyone's just doing their job. This Panthers team has a lot of depth. Like, depth that we normally don't see when the Panthers get injured. But everyone just looks amazing out there, man. It's hard to explain, but this defense really reminds me of that 2013 defense. And for those of y'all that know, that 2013 defense was something special. I mean, the 2015 defense was too, but that 2013 defense, especially with the front seven, they were monsters. But the fact that the Panthers have never really had a solid secondary to complement that front seven. That's one thing that the 2013 defense really didn't have. We had people, who do we have back then? We had like Drayton Florence and Mike Mitchell back there. A bunch of old heads, and they weren't really that good. Teams like the Panthers defense, especially in 2013, was ranked like 15th or 16th against the pass. But the DBs have depth, man. Like, that next man up mentality with James Bradbury, Ross Cockrell, Javian Elliott, Trey Boston, Eric Reed, all those boys, man. It's great to see. It really is. And now that the Panthers have moved to 4-2 on the year, going into their bye week, which is next week, a lot of questions are starting to loom over the quote-unquote quarterback controversy between Cam Newton and Kyle Allen. Now, I've been tired of addressing this all on Twitter, and people have even asked me about, so do you think Kyle Allen should start? He should start, right? I'm just going to say it like this. Kyle Allen is a great game manager, and he's doing his job as a backup quarterback. But a healthy Cam Newton is better than Kyle Allen. And I'm sticking to that. I'm tired of the media trying to draw this narrative saying Cam is done. Kyle Allen is the new quarterback for the Panthers. No. Ron Rivera even said Cam Newton's our number one, and he's our number one guy. So I'm really tired of addressing it, but I will just say it right here. Like I just said, Kyle Allen is a good game manager, but Cam Newton overall is a better quarterback. When Cam Newton comes back, or when he's 100% healthy, I say we start Cam. Now, with Cam at 100% health, and he's still underperforming, then yes, you would have to consider. That's kind of hard for me to say, but it is what it is. You would have to consider getting rid of Cam Newton. If he's 100% healthy and he's still not playing well, then changes have to be made. It's a sad truth, but that's football. As much as I am a huge Cam Newton fan, I'm still also a Carolina Panthers fan. You got to do what's best for the team. But until then, I am all for Kyle Allen, a.k.a. Lovey-Dovey. And the way how he's been playing, especially this game, again, this was his best game. The past 2 weeks, he was kind of iffy. But this week, he really showed out. Now the Panthers go into the bye week. And when they get back, they have to face the toughest contender that they will be facing so far in this early parts of the season. They will be taking on the now 5-0 San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium in 2 weeks. Should be a good game, and this will be Kyle Allen. If Cam Newton is 100% healthy, I'm pretty sure he won't, but if Kyle Allen does get the start, it will be his first chance at going up against a real contender. I mean, technically he kind of went up against a real contender 2 weeks ago with Houston, and Deshaun Watson is playing out of his mind these past 2 weeks as the Texans beat Kansas City at Arrowhead earlier today. So shouts out to Deshaun Watson doing his thing, and they're trying to win that division. And in the AFC South, I really do believe it's going to come down to Watson versus Jacoby Brissett. Colts, Texans for the AFC South crown. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's about it, man. It's fixing to be a really, really special season that's blooming here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm glad that I'm along for the ride. It's been a lot of ups and downs in the early part of the season, but right now we're on the up. 4-game winning streak going into the bye. Now the guys can get some rest, and then we'll be ready to hit the ground running in 2 weeks, heading out to Santa Clara to take on the Niners. Then after that, they have a home game against the Titans. And after that, that's when we get into the real meaty part of the schedule where we go up against contending teams, because once that third quarter of the season starts, we still have to face the Saints twice, who are looking, though they are just looking amazing. We still have to go up against the Colts. Jacoby Brissett is doing his thing, and they're looking great. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, who've finally gotten their stuff together from the earlier part of the season. Now they're starting to click. So those right there, and we still have to face Atlanta twice, even though Atlanta is a bottom-feeding team and they lost to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals by 1 point today. They now dropped to 1-5. But again, division games are always tough. So, or some people might consider us playing them a trap game, but again, you can't take them for granted. They're your division rival, so they're always going to give you a tough time 7 times out of 10. So we'll really see what this Panthers team is made of, and I'm just happy that they're winning. And it's great. It's great to be a Panthers fan. Now, around in the NFC South, we have the Saints. They won today again. Good grief. I was hoping that they were going to lose, but the one time I want to root for Gardner Minshew, he fails me. Teddy Bridgewater leads the Saints to another win. Now they're 5-1. They're at the top of the division. Then behind them is the Carolina Panthers at 4-2. Then behind them are in third place is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 2-4. And lastly is the Atlanta Falcons at 1-5. So this is starting to look like the 2013 and or the 2017 season again, where the Saints and Panthers are fighting for that first place in the division. Hopefully it can be like the 2013 year where we end up winning the division, because it's been so long since the Panthers have won the South. They haven't won it since the Super Bowl run in 2015, but it would be great to see them win this division, man, with all the issues and stuff surrounding the team this year, especially coming off the stuff from last year with starting out 6-2, and then the injury to Cam Newton and just spiraling out of control after starting 6-2. It's crazy. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your week. Let's get the start of a new week. No Panthers football this weekend, so I'll probably take a look at the teams around the NFC South and look at some of my friends' teams who probably be playing this week. But with that, I'm signing off. Keep pounding. Go Panthers.